Have you ever caught yourself wondering whether traveling after 70 is still a good idea? It's a question many seniors in the US start thinking about, especially after retirement, when time finally feels like it's your own again. Maybe you've always loved exploring new places, or maybe there are destinations still sitting on your bucket list. But let's be honest, traveling at this age isn't as carefree as it used to be. The truth is, after 70, the risks that come with travel are very real, both for your health and your finances. And no one talks about this enough until something actually goes wrong. That's why it's important to have an honest conversation about what you might face on the road, not to scare you, but to help you make smart choices. Because a dream trip should leave you with memories, not medical bills or regrets. In this conversation, I'm going to share 5 key reasons why travel after 70 can be risky. We'll go over health concerns, physical strain, unexpected expenses, and even scams that target older travelers. These aren't just possibilities. They're things that have happened to real people. So stay with me and let's walk through this together. And if you're already finding this helpful or if this topic hits home for you, type "I'm listening" in the comments. I'd love to know who's here. 1. Health risks and medical emergencies. Let's talk about the one thing most people really don't like to think about: your health while traveling. Look, I know you probably feel pretty good for your age. You might even say, "I'm in better shape than I was 10 years ago." And that might be true. But when you're over 70, your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to, and traveling has a sneaky way of exposing that. Long flights, changes in altitude, unfamiliar climates. All of that can throw your system off. If you have conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart issues, they can suddenly become front and center when you're tired, dehydrated, or in a place where medical care is unfamiliar. Even something as simple as walking through a hot, crowded airport can push your limits in ways you didn't expect. And here's something most people forget. If you're not in the US, your regular Medicare or health insurance might not cover anything. I've seen people stuck with bills in the tens of thousands just because they didn't know they needed travel insurance. Imagine needing an emergency hospital stay overseas and realizing you have to pay out of pocket. Scary, right? There was this man named James, 74, who went on a cruise thinking it'd be a relaxing trip. But a few days in, he had chest pain. The ship staff tried to help, but he needed a real hospital. Problem was, they were in the middle of the ocean. Hours went by before he could get to proper care. He survived, thankfully, but that whole experience shook him to the core. And it cost a fortune. So what can you do? First, always check with your doctor before planning a trip. Ask them directly, "Is this safe for me?" Get your medications in order, pack more than you need, and keep them in your carry-on. If you're going out of the country, get proper travel insurance, not just the cheapest one, but one that covers emergency evacuation. And research what the healthcare situation is like wherever you're going. You don't need to stop exploring, but you do need to be smart about it, because one unexpected health scare can turn a beautiful vacation into a nightmare you didn't see coming. 2. Exposure to infections and illnesses. Let's be honest, your immune system just isn't what it used to be. That's not an insult, it's just a fact of life. As we get older, our bodies don't fight off germs like they once did. So when you're traveling, especially through airports, airplanes, buses, and public spaces, you're walking straight into a storm of bacteria and viruses. And the worst part? You don't even realize it until it hits you. Think about it. Planes are tight, crowded spaces where the air is recycled. You've got people coughing, sneezing, touching everything. And don't even get me started on the tray tables or public restrooms. You might think, "I've been through flu season before. I'll be fine." But what if you're exposed to something your body's never encountered before? A new strain, new bacteria, or even just unfamiliar food. What used to be just a stomach bug in your 40s can knock you down for weeks in your 70s. And food, oh food. I know trying local cuisine is one of the best parts of traveling. But for older adults, unfamiliar ingredients or undercooked food can lead to serious problems. E. coli, norovirus, food poisoning, they hit harder and recovery takes longer. Even drinking the wrong water can do real damage if your system isn't used to it. There was a woman, Evelyn, 76, who told me about her trip to South America. She avoided street food, stuck to hotel restaurants, and still ended up spending 3 days in bed with dehydration from a salad washed in tap water. She said afterward, "I wish I'd just asked for bottled water instead. Simple mistake, but it ruined her trip." So how do you protect yourself? Pack hand sanitizer. Use it like it's gold. Wash your hands often, especially before meals. Wear a mask in crowded places, not because you have to, but because it's smart. Drink only bottled or filtered water. Be cautious with salads, uncooked foods, and even ice cubes. And if you're going overseas, talk to your doctor about any recommended vaccines or meds you should carry just in case. Travel isn't just about fun. It's about being safe while having fun. If you're smart about hygiene and what you put into your body, you can still enjoy your trip without it turning into a stay in a foreign hospital. 3. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. Now let's talk about something most people don't prepare for, but always feel: exhaustion. And no, I don't mean the "I need a nap" kind of tired. I'm talking about real, full-body fatigue that creeps in after long flights, early mornings, late nights, and constantly being on the move. If you're over 70, your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to, and travel hits differently. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you slept well in a hotel bed? Add jet lag to that. A different time zone, unfamiliar surroundings, strange food, and a full-day tour on your feet. And suddenly, your so-called vacation starts feeling more like a workout you didn't sign up for. This isn't just about being tired, it's about how long that tiredness lasts. For younger travelers, a good night's sleep fixes everything. For you, that exhaustion can stick around for days, sometimes even weeks. And when your body's that drained, everything else becomes harder. Your balance gets shaky. Your joints ache. Your immune system weakens. You're not just tired, you're vulnerable. I remember hearing from Richard, 75, who took a 10-hour flight to Europe. On paper, it looked like a dream trip. But by day 2, he could barely keep up. Between long walks, standing in lines, and missing sleep, he told me it felt like he needed a vacation from his vacation. And here's the thing. Many older adults ignore this. You push through thinking you'll rest later. But when later comes, you're not resting, you're recovering. You're back home with sore legs, swollen feet, and wondering if it was even worth it. So what can you do? First, pace yourself. You don't have to cram every landmark into one day. Build rest time into your travel plans. Yes, actually schedule breaks. Stay hydrated. Take naps when you need to. Avoid red-eye flights. If you're booking a tour, make sure it's a leisure pace, not a we're on a mission pace. And most importantly, listen to your body. You don't need to keep up. You need to feel well. That's the only way you'll truly enjoy the trip. 4. Higher risk of falls and injuries. As we grow older, our sense of balance, muscle strength, and reaction time naturally change. That doesn't mean you're not capable. It just means your body responds differently now. And when you're traveling, especially in places that aren't designed with older adults in mind, that difference can become a real hazard. When you're at home, everything is familiar. You know where the steps are, where the light switches are, even which shoes give you better grip on the floor. But during travel, you're stepping into unknown territory, literally. Uneven sidewalks, steep stairs without railings, slippery floors in hotels, and cobblestone streets in historic cities can all increase the risk of a fall. And what would be a small misstep for someone younger can become a serious injury at this stage in life. Linda, 78, thought she was prepared. She walked regularly, stayed active, and felt confident about her strength. But while exploring Italy, one small misstep off a curb on a dark street led to a fall that broke her hip. Her trip ended immediately, and what followed were months of pain, surgery, and physical therapy. Travel also brings fatigue, and when you're tired, coordination and focus take a hit. That makes slips and trips more likely. Add joint stiffness, arthritis, or mobility challenges to the mix, and you've got a situation where even walking through an airport can feel overwhelming. So if you're planning a trip, give some real thought to how you'll move around. Choose destinations that prioritize accessibility. Ask hotels about elevators and staircases. Take your time walking, wear stable footwear, and don't hesitate to use a walking aid if it helps you stay steady. Because here's the truth, your safety isn't just about avoiding a bad moment. It's about protecting your long-term independence. And that matters more than any photo op or tour stop. 5. Travel insurance and financial risk. One of the biggest surprises many people over 70 face while traveling isn't about health. It's about money. And not just the money you plan to spend, but the unexpected costs that sneak up on you when something goes wrong. You might think, I've got Medicare, or my insurance will cover me. But here's the hard truth. Most U.S. health insurance plans, including Medicare, don't cover medical expenses outside the country. That means if you fall ill in Europe or have an accident in Mexico, you could be on the hook for everything, from emergency room visits to life-saving treatments to evacuation flights. And those bills can reach tens of thousands of dollars. George, 76, learned this the hard way. He thought he had booked a dream vacation to a tropical island through a fancy-looking travel website. But when he arrived, there was no hotel, it didn't exist. He had been scammed. Not only was his trip ruined, but he had to spend twice as much to find a place to stay last minute. And there was no way to get his money back. Financial scams are another real threat. Older adults are often seen as easy targets by scammers abroad, whether it's fake taxi drivers, rigged currency exchanges, or friendly strangers trying to help with your luggage while eyeing your wallet. It's not about being gullible. It's about being in unfamiliar surroundings, and that makes anyone more vulnerable. Then there's trip cancellations. As we age, our health can change unexpectedly. You might feel perfectly fine when you book your cruise or flight months in advance, but things can shift quickly. Without proper trip cancellation insurance, you could lose thousands if you suddenly can't go. So how do you protect yourself? Always ask your insurance provider if you're covered internationally. If you're not, and chances are you're not, invest in travel insurance that specifically includes medical emergencies, evacuation, and trip cancellation. Don't take chances just to save a little upfront. Also, only book through well-known, reputable companies. And always be careful with your credit cards, personal details, and cash while traveling. Travel is supposed to bring joy, not financial regret. And when you're in your 70s or beyond, protecting your health and your savings should be part of every travel plan. Travel can be one of life's greatest joys, especially when you've earned the time and freedom to explore. But with age comes the need to be extra careful. Not just about your health, but also about your safety and finances. You deserve trips that make you feel alive, not worried or overwhelmed. Remember, preparation is your best friend. Knowing what to expect, planning ahead, and protecting yourself with the right insurance can make all the difference. Don't rush into travel just because it's on your bucket list. Take your time, ask questions, and don't hesitate to lean on family, friends, or travel experts for advice. You've seen a lot in life, and your travel experiences should add to that wealth of memories, not become a source of stress. Stay safe, stay informed, and enjoy every moment you spend discovering the world. If you found this helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with friends or family who might be planning a trip too. And if you have any questions or want personalized tips for safe and enjoyable travel, just reach out. Your journey matters, and I'm here to help you make the most of it. Safe travels.